I'm Denise, a licensed therapist with 25 years of experience studying toxic behavior.
And I'm Joanne, a reality TV obsessed fan with absolutely zero regrets about it,
We were college roommates.
which means we have been having this exact conversation for over 30 years. The only difference now is that there's champagne in our glasses instead of beer.
Every week, we sit down and break down the drama, the chaos, and the toxic behavior you can't stop watching.
And Denise will tell you what is actually going on beneath the surface.
This is Charmingly Toxic.
So join us in a glass and let's get into it.
All right, Joanne, we're back. Cheers and happy Mother's Day and happy birthday.
Cheers, Denise. Happy belated Mother's Day and thanks for the birthday wishes.
So today is a very special day because we're officially announcing that Joanne is now the official co-host. Yay! It took a while to convince her. So glad to have her and especially all of her gossip. And just love that we can connect over this every week. So cheers. And I'm cheersing to you in my new Charmingly Toxic Prosecco glass my daughter made me for Mother's Day.
So cute.
So today we're going to do Rhode Island and Summer House. Oh, let's do gossip first.
Okay, first of all, let's do the fun stuff and it'll come up during Summer House. But Lindsay and Carl really do appear to be mending their friendship. He met Gemma for the first time. I guess it was the upfronts. They were in person. He gave her a little high five. There was a picture of it, but that's just super sweet to see. There should be some good that comes out of this mess.
I love Carl, like 5.0 or whatever version of Carl we're on. I really like him. He is so kind. And, we'll talk about this later, but I think he forgives people too easily, gives people a lot of chances. I think he's just got such a kind heart. So,
Yeah. He talked with Andy about the scene with Lindsay and his mom and how his mom just said, "Oh, yeah, it was a little uncomfortable." And then he said he watched it back and he thought, "Oh, holy cow, that was more than a little uncomfortable." Lindsay was not very kind, but who knows? Maybe
yeah.
there's more history that we don't know.
And someone was saying too, like when she was recapping it back with Amanda, she's like, and then like out of nowhere, Carl's mom appears and they're like, Carl's mom was mic'd. Like you knew this was happening going in. Like, give me a break. Don't try to spin the narrative that you were like accosted.
Yeah. You're a good PR person, but come on. We're super fans at this point. All right. And then the other little nugget allegedly seems to be confirmed by many people. West and Jen Fessler from Real Housewives of New Jersey may have been intimate.
Okay. So did you watch the season with Jen Fessler?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like her?
I liked her. I thought she was very funny. She's quirky. She's definitely thirsty.
Hmm.
She revealed that she had slept with James Gandolfini years prior. So I love seeing the pictures of Tony Soprano in the comments of this gossip stuff.
So there was stuff going around on Facebook like that, she and her husband cheat on each other quite often, or that it's like more of an open marriage. Like this is, no one would be surprised if she had a one night stand with someone. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Lindsay said on, I think, virtual reality T, page 6 thing, we know he's a clout chaser and age doesn't matter. Or maybe she said that on Watch What Happens Live. Like he's not concerned about age. And then West had said on Watch What Happens Live that the oldest woman he was intimate with was high 50s. And then someone else overheard him talking about a Jenny that he had hooked up with. And then Carl said that he had heard the rumors about Jen Fessler and West, or maybe it was Lindsay, before they had come out, just like Jesse and Erica Jane, which we forgot. And that story kind of died pretty quick.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, right? That just sort of disappeared.
Okay. So here's my thought. Has West always been like, I will fuck anybody that crosses my path? Or is this like newfound fame where he thinks now he can get everybody he sees? Because then did you see the other thing about like he's had a girlfriend this whole
Yes.
time?
And that's what I guess Kyle was. They showed a little clip of him at the reunion, kind of prepping everyone to say, like, we're going to expose him for the ease at which he lies.
Yeah.
Well, what I read, so he played football at Montana State and definitely had a lot of girls. So I think he's got the swagger enough, plus he had the football
Yeah.
to back it up, and so I think then he was like, "Whoa, this is a way bigger scale than
Now I really
girls in the frat houses or whatever, sorority."
I wonder if there's some sex addiction there.
Oh, gosh, wow.
Who knows?
He's too handsy with these girls. Anyway, where do you wanna go next? Summer house?
No, Rhode
Rhode
Island.
Island, sorry, okay. Okay, we remember Dino,
Mhm.
who's very close, good friends with Liz and her husband. People thought they were having an affair. She says no. She couldn't really explain why they were so close, but they were very close. Well, apparently he's facing 7 felony charges, including drug distribution. He's been on the FBI's radar for 6 years. And the only person in his cell phone logs more than Liz and her husband were the boss of this crime family that apparently they're all tied to.
I'm living for this. Like,
You called it. You clocked it weeks ago.
I'm living for this for a number of reasons. So when the clip like that we both watched about this, it said something like, okay, they referenced what's her husband's name?
No,
Gary?
it is Gary. Yeah.
They referenced Gary's deep sea fishing hobby slash career now makes a lot of sense if he was like drug smuggling or whatever the fuck he was doing, 3 weeks out of the month. And also makes sense of why, if Dino is under investigation, he probably is too, which is why he's getting rid of the boat, retiring.
Now it's all on TV. Like, they don't
Idiots.
learn. I mean, it's like, hello, learn from Teresa. And like,
How do they not see this?
it's really, really funny.
I want the season to go on and on and on. Like I can't.
It's really good.
It really is so good.
It's really, really good. It's really good. Oh my God. And then Bravo announced all the new shows, the lineup for the new shows. Miami's not in there, which stinks. Lisa Hochstein getting arrested with her ex Jody, stalking Lenny or stealing stuff from Lenny. And then Larsa and her boyfriend broke up. Alexi is back with Todd.
Of course.
He bought her a new mansion or condo or something.
So what else is in the lineup?
The 20-year ultimate girls trip with all OGs in New York City.
Next Gen New York City is coming back. I like that show.
That's coming back. More below deck, 2 below decks.
Oh, did Ladies of London get axed? There's no reunion.
It wasn't announced, but I think it just ended and they were probably waiting to see how it
Yeah.
goes. So everyone's hoping, I think Miami and Ladies of London, that they come back. But
But there's no reunion for Ladies of London. So that's
no.
but they have had them on Watch What Happens Live, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it did a lot better than they expected it to do.
Mhm. All right, let's start with Rhode Island.
Let's do it. So, a little slow. They're still in Providence at the Castle Mansion, whatever.
Newport.
I said it wrong twice. The Castle Mansion. Alicia again. Is it blue paper? What do you call it? Blueprint. Rosie was sick, throwing up all night. They think the castle's haunted. They heard giggling in the middle of the night.
So are they trying to imply that she might be pregnant, or is this like, I'm nervous because everybody doesn't like me here and so I'm nauseous?
I don't know. That's kind of where I thought they would go with it, but is she pregnant now?
She said, "Oh, I'm so bloated in the belly," and then
Gassy. Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. I didn't see if she was drinking or not.
I didn't either.
I didn't pay attention. Well, they go to the breakfast. It's awkward between Kelsey and Rosie. The plan is they have an inflatable water slide in this ginormous mansion, and then they're going to go on an ice boat in a sunset cruise.
Can we talk about why? Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, they had to have something for these women to do while Joellen and Alicia go off and talk. But this is what they come up with, a gigantic water slide?
Hey, I mean,
So tacky.
maybe the budget's pretty low. It's season 1, you know?
Yeah. I got Liz when she was like, I am too old to go down that slide. I would have been like, same girl.
I loved, though, in Rosie's confessional, she called Kelsey a high-end squatter.
That was great. That was a good one.
Ashley's crying at breakfast. We learn her son's sick. She ends up having to leave, which was
Yeah.
very sad and I'm sure scary, especially to be out in the middle of nowhere when your
So,
kid
yeah.
is not doing well and your dad's a doctor and your dad says take him to the
I
emergency room.
know.
That would make my heart drop. Cut to Alicia and her confessional. The producer's trying to say it's ghosts. It's plural. You can't say it. It's ghosts.
It's like, I can't. I just can't say it. I can't do it.
Kelsey and Rosie trying to move forward. Kelsey came to her, which was nice. And Kelsey's like, look, my RBF is involuntary. So hopefully she can look past it. Then we have this is kind of like the deep section, Joellen and Ashley leaving. Although the driver who drove them said he had lived in that
Oh, yeah.
and he said it was haunted and a
Was it
nun
fraternity? Like, didn't he say like his fraternity or he lived there in college?
like that. Yeah. And a nun hung herself from
Yeah.
there. Oy, oy, oy.
So it's Joellen and Alicia. Go talk.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say Ashley? Yeah. Alicia. Alicia's dad, okay, she had issues with that, but Joe Ellen's mom,
Yeah. This woman sounds like fucking nuts to send her away 3 times. And one of the times they said she sent the sister also.
so that's what I wrote down too. I thought the sister was like the favorite and she loved her, but no. And Alicia remembers it from high school. Like, yeah, they were sent away, but no one really talked about it.
Right. Yeah. And so she said all 3 things were bad, but the 3rd one was a year-long placement, and it was really horrible,
The mom tried to pass it off as a boarding school, but
right? And she said there was, like, male and female sexual predators. I think she was saying that about, like, who was in charge of them. But, yeah, she said it was, like, juvenile delinquents, like murderers, like, this sounds
suicidal kids
Mhm.
whose parents didn't know how to deal with them.
It sounded more like juvenile detention camp or something for a year.
The 3rd time for a year, and the only reason why she came home is because the state wanted full custody. Thank goodness. I wonder where that girl would be if the mom
No.
was like, "Yeah, take it."
I don't know that I could get past that. I mean, for her to say, "Yeah, you can come over and watch my kids," I would be like, "No, you cannot." Unless her mom, like, maybe her mom had some mental illness and she's on medication now and is stabilized.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
that's the only thing I could think of, but I don't know that I could come back from that.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. So, what do you think? Is the mom a narcissist?
It's hard to tell, like, she sounds like she has narcissistic traits, maybe she was bipolar, like, I don't know, but
And the whole reason Joellen views that the reason was because she had big boobs and she was promiscuous.
well, yeah, so narcissists who have daughters or mothers are very jealous of their daughters and, try to sabotage their daughters' lives. So it could be a combination of things. I just don't know how, there must be a part of Joellen that's like, I really want to connect with my mom on some level, even though I know she's a terrible person. I don't know.
Yeah, to fill that gap. Like, why didn't she love me? Like, I just need that hole filled.
Or maybe just hope that maybe she'll love my kids and I can see that happen in front of me. But I really want to see more of this mom next week.
I know. I kind of don't, but I'm curious, but I kind of don't. So then we cut to Rula. She's not coming. She's sick in the ER again, but she still was in bed. Her husband brings her this beautiful tray of tea and whatever, and she's in full glam. Like
Hmm.
she just went to the emergency room or whatever.
So I have a few thoughts.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing that scares me about this guy is the stalking and the tracking, because like that's a huge indicator of homicide. I think we talked about this before. So his surveillance on her is so tight where I feel like she feels like she can't move an inch. There might be a piece of this where she feels like she has to look presentable at all times, even when she doesn't feel well. She has to look this image that could be driven from her, or it could be this kind of expectation he has of her. I think also he said, you're not going to go to this castle, right? Because you're going to be with Joellen. I don't want her planting things in your brain and these women convincing you I'm bad. So you're going to tell them that you're sick and we're going to film a scene where you're sick in bed.
And I'm the wonderful husband taking care of you,
Yeah.
serving you tea in bed.
The other part of it that could be true is a lot of times my clients, when they're faced with situations like this, they do manifest physical symptoms like sick to their stomach. I feel like I want to vomit. I don't have any energy. And so that could be playing into it too, all the parts. But from just a straight up viewer who doesn't know all this stuff, it looks like she is faking it and, is in full glam at her bed and like, I can't come, which is looks that's what's happening on the surface, but there's so much below that.
Yeah, well, it'll get interesting next week. So we're done with Rula and her scene, and then they get the butlers to take their shirts off and go down the slide. Like, how hot are those butlers?
Okay. They were good to look at for sure.
And I loved Liz. She's like, listen, I'm not gonna which, yeah, I get it. And all those other girls are so much younger than her. Like, I could see where she felt a little awkward. Like, Alicia's kind of the glue there.
Yeah. But also she's like, I'm too busy paying Gary and Dino. I don't need to add another guy to the roster.
But it's interesting to see her get frustrated with Alicia a little bit more. Alicia is she's a little flighty. She's out there. She's funny.
I mean, they're both caught in a game that they can't get out of, but Liz is smarter, a lot smarter than Alicia.
Well, let's see what the surveillance shows. So then they go on the boat. Ashley has to leave, as we saw. Alicia wants her crackers. She wants them near her. Joellen apparently had sex with one of Kelsey's exes. Was it the rich guy or on
I
a
think so.
boat with another person? She was very loud. And then they cut to Joellen. She said, I was slutty in my 20s. Oh, at least own it.
I think it was the rich old guy. Yeah.
Huh.
Crazy. That's a crazy life.
It's small. They weren't lying about Rhode Island being
Big
tiny.
tiny.
So then we get proof, allegedly, of Rula's husband with the mistress, ex mistress, current mistress, whatever, with the date stamp 2 days before the polo match. So the story is kind of coming
Yeah.
together, I think.
I mean, I wanted proof of them having sex, but I think what Joellen is saying, or she says later, is like, I told my friend I need proof and a timestamp that he's there every morning when he says he's at the gym.
He's not going to the gym.
I don't know how they filmed this, but it was like him saying goodbye to her in the morning and like caressing her butt and long hugs. And I still think, like the lady said, that Rula's going to be like, well, this is just him breaking it off with her.
Yeah.
He's going to feed her some line of, this was our last goodbye. This doesn't mean anything. And she's going to go along with it.
Well, right, because we know that they are, at least as of a few weeks ago, still together. And she's obviously seen the video since then.
And it makes me wonder if there's physical abuse happening because I think there's this fear there.
And you said this already, like he sat in the audience at Watch What Happens Live.
Like, yeah, like I'm right in front of you. I'm going to have eye contact with you the whole time. You better not mess up.
Yeah,
Scary dude.
definitely. So then they all say, what are we going to do about this? And they all go, not it.
Yeah.
It seems like Alicia's going to be the one, maybe, but who knows? So we'll see. But scenes for next week, you're going to get your slam pig again. And then Dolores and Liz are creating a menopause gummy, which, like, how is
Yeah,
that
that's cute.
a gummy? But it's very cute and smart to brand it, and they'll charge more for it because women pay more for this bullshit. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Smart business move. I like it. All right. So moving on to Summer House. This was a doozy. This
it
is like,
wasn't doozy. It's
ugh,
just not as fun as I've said it a million times. But the Scandival was fun. This isn't as fun.
this is awful.
We still have the city to deal with, and now they're re-editing that too.
I know. So we start back at the scene of the fight and Kyle throwing things and says, fuck you, Carl. Carl says, what did I do to you? And he says, you bitched and whined all summer. Oh, it's so sensitive. And that's when Carl says, fuck you, you loser. Right? I supported you all summer. Thanks for not supporting me, you loser. And then Kyle says, fuck off, you 6-foot motherfucker. So this is like the angst between the two of them really, really coming out. And Carl's sober. Kyle is shit faced. through this whole episode, he is so drunk, which is infuriating.
Yeah, because they showed him, like, going into the dinner, he looked so off, and we learned later it was probably because of what Sierra said about the separation. Like, why does everybody have to suffer? Go eat dinner in a room. Go say you have to drive home. Go save your phone call. Like, this poor
Right.
Chef Frank is just trying to make a nice meal for you all in the Hamptons, and then Carl, when it's all said and done, comes in, and he's like, "This is every summer. Every summer he does this."
Every summer and has a big meltdown. And you were watching reruns the other day where they showed it, and Paige was like, enough of this bullshit. We don't have to bow down to you.
Right. You're not in charge of us all the time. You're not the dictator of the dinner table.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot he sucks. He just sucks. Like, feel bad for him in this situation, but
He's very good at playing the victim and people fall for it. And we even see it in this episode that people fall for it. I mean,
yes.
Amanda's out there trying to calm him down. Lindsay's trying to calm Carl down. Amanda is covering Kyle's mouth, like, stop talking. You're going to say things you regret. Don't do it. Then West is like whispering in her ear. That was super weird. And then she says, I'm going to punch you in the face if you don't stop. Because he said something to Carl. Like, did he say, Carl, stop using Vagisil? He was like, I rewound it like 3 times. Like, what did he
He
just say to
mentioned
him?
Vagisil. I thought he was like saying, like, I don't know, calling him a pussy or something.
Pussy, a wimp,
Yeah.
like, you're too sensitive, like, just all of that grossness. And then Kyle says, everyone can suck my fucking dick. They're all just watching it like a TV show playing out before them.
Well, and then you feel like, so Mia, Bailey, and Levi. Oh my God, somebody posted, do you think only Bailey can see Levi? She's snuffleupagus.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
they're like, let's get in the house. So they're not used to it. Everyone else is like, oh, this happens at least twice a summer. Like, no big whoop. But
Still, I think so Carl was saying, hit me, hit me. I think that's when they were like, oh my God, we need to go outside and see what's happening.
and Kyle's thumb is bleeding. Wes did say he got blood on him, or KJ maybe.
So how did he cut himself?
Probably slamming cars and rocks or something.
Oh yeah. And later on he said his biggest worry during the fight that with Carl was going to do something to his BMW. Did you see that part?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Should
You
have.
don't
What about his DJ equipment? So then Kyle says, "Is this outside? No sex for 7 years," which there's no way that's true.
come on. Yeah, no one is believing that.
And then he just gets angry again at Amanda, but she da da da. Like, they're trying to calm him down, trying to get him to see that he's being a total lunatic, and he's just getting angry with Amanda all over again.
Yeah. Lindsay's saying, I created this and I didn't mean to. Amanda says Kyle needs to have a conversation without flipping out. Carl says, I'm watching him crumble. He's throwing his relationship away for what? This is when Carl was outside of the pool with Jesse.
Yeah.
He's throwing his relationship away for DJing. He doesn't even have his own music.
Which Carl says on Watch What Happens Live. He does have his own music. He just needs a little nudge to get it out there.
So Bailey, everyone's trying to get Carl, like, don't go back in the house. Don't go back and re-engage with him. And Bailey's like, you could stay out here and make out with me if you want.
I know. She was like, he was hot. His neck was bulging.
I liked it fighting Carl. He had it going on.
It was cute.
So Carl goes into Amanda and hugs her and apologizes, says, I don't like the way Kyle speaks to you. And this is when Kyle does all his manipulative bullshit that people fall for. The Lindsay held her ground. She didn't, but Kyle starts crying and says, Sierra suggests we separate for a month. Okay, but you've already separated. We know this. Okay, so this isn't what it is. I said, here he goes playing the crying victim after he verbally accosts everyone and says vile things. His sty is back, if you didn't notice that.
Did not notice that. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so he's going through it.
Lindsay says, you have to stop saying fuck you to Amanda. And again, he's like, I feel like she's deserted me, and then Lindsay's like, well, maybe she feels deserted and abandoned. And that's when he says, we've had no sex for 7 years, no partnership. Like, he can't take accountability that he is deserting her also.
Like, literally leaving her alone, going to college bars and college towns to DJ overnight.
Yeah. He's almost like, well, she's not having sex with me, so of course I'm going to go out. Like, why would I stay home if I'm not having sex?
Yeah.
So Lindsay goes out and repeats the conversation to Amanda and the girls. And then Amanda says something like, I don't know what I'm hanging in here for. And Ben, during all this, is so far up Kyle's ass, like following him around. Did you notice this? And like, you can cry on my shoulder, buddy. It's okay.
Who was?
Ben.
God, yeah. What a dud, that guy.
Yeah. I'm like, just get Ben out of here. And Kyle, everyone is like, we've seen this crying antic from Kyle before, which is why we're not following him into the
And
closet.
they're like, "Who's going out? Let's all go out." And fucking Kyle goes out. Anyway,
Yes. And I wonder, so he gets Ben in the closet with him and he, is full on victim, but then maybe Ben was like hyping up, like, let's go out and like forget about this, have a great time. That was just gross. Like, I can say all these shitty things to you and to my wife and cry and throw a scene and almost fight someone and play the victim.
get blood on my pants,
And now, yeah, everything's good. I'm just going to go out and party with you guys.
make the
And
chef uncomfortable.
they allow it, which is this charming part of him where they're like, I guess it's fine. Oh, so during this, Jesse, West, and Sierra are drinking on the front porch together, like the threesome's back. And then Amanda and West hug for a long time. He kisses her head and she says, I love you.
Now, Carl said on Watch What Happens Live, just seeing that, like the way that he touches girls that are in a relationship, like the nape of their back, caresses their neck and their head. And he's not wrong.
He's
You
not.
should not be doing that. Like Wes does that. He was doing it to Bailey. Like he was, but like with Bailey, I took it as flirting, like locking her arms behind her head or whatever. But he's a little too comfortable.
Yeah. So now I'm wondering, watching this, like, is this a heavily emotional affair where she's truly falling for him and saying, this is the support and love I need in my marriage, even though it's fake? And he's giving her all of these sexual innuendos,
That's what I think is happening. I think it's emotional at this point. I don't think they're physically intimate.
right? But they are, in that they're always in close proximity of each other and he's always touching her.
Right. And their feet were touching at the fire pit, the time when Kyle crashed out and said, fuck you the first time. This is like the third time he's used the F word to curse her out.
Yeah. And we've seen him go ballistic so many times. We've said this before. I cannot even imagine what it's like when there's no cameras there and how long his rage lasts because people aren't there like, okay, Kyle.
Yeah.
So Kyle and Carl hug. Carl says he's sorry first, of course, and takes accountability for losing his shit. Kyle cries again. He kind of apologizes. And Carl starts walking it back that, it's really not about soft bar. And, Carl just, he's just a softie. But you can't tell your wife, fuck you. And that Kyle comes back. Well, she pushes my buttons.
Why? He's not sorry at all. He's not.
Like, she provokes me to say fuck you. So therefore, I'm entitled to say it.
Carl even said on Watch What Happens Live, like, there is the dynamic that Kyle was my boss at one point,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which, so it's hard for him.
So Kyle goes out to the kitchen and announces to everyone, me and Carl are fine. Everything's good. And
Wow.
Jessica, yeah, Jesse's like, I'm glad you squashed it, but now you have Amanda Petula to take care of.
Yes.
So he's like, not all's good here, dude.
Right. And he goes in and gives some half-assed apology.
Robotic. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for this.
Yeah.
But I'm still going out. So see you later.
Yeah, I jumped all of that when I just had Kyle's going out with the fuck, and then they come home and the door's broken.
Okay, wait. Yes, I did see that. We need to get, but before they go out, Kyle goes into the room where Amanda and the girls are, and they're laying in bed. And he
Oh, yeah.
said in front of them, I just wanted to let you know I hugged it out with Carl and I want to hug it out with you too. And they're all three just staring at him like, are you serious, dude? And he has this like puppy dog look and he tells her, when you were sitting across the table, I was so excited to tell you about my DJ career, but you gave me that smug look. So this is him recreating the narrative of what actually happened at the table. And it wasn't, he was excited to tell her about his DJ career. Lindsay was like forcing him to say it and he
And
didn't want
Amanda
it.
already knew. You're
Yeah.
going to Vegas. She's the one who said it out loud.
So I was like, what kind of bullshit apology is this? And why is this all taking place in a group setting? He needs an audience. He thinks by doing this that they're going to be like, he came in and apologized. So she says she needs time. He says, it's been a long time since I felt like we were on the same team. It wears me down and it hurts. And then he takes his sweet ass time leaving the room, dragging his feet. They're probably like, get the fuck out of here.
Is he waiting for her to be like, you know what? Everything's cool. We're good. Let's hug it out like you want.
He's just like slowly walking to the door. Like, oh, no one is buying this in this room, at least. So we see them all partying out in the club, and Kyle and the guys get home at 1:30.
And as soon as he got out, he wanted to come home. And I'm sorry for going out. You got home at 1:30. You didn't get home at 11.
And then he doesn't get in bed. He goes into the kitchen and waits for everybody else to come home at 2 a.m.
Sorry. I shouldn't have left you home. I was like, well, that's a crock of shit.
So Sierra and West are flirting in the kitchen. And this is when they start talking about where's everyone sleeping tonight.
Yes.
And they're like, Kyle, where are you sleeping? He's like, in bed with my wife. Like, where are you sleeping? And he's like, imagine if Jesse were to sleep in bed with my wife. I'm like,
And you've seen the clip online of Wes slowly eating the chip.
yeah. And then Sierra's in West and Jesse's room, and Jesse's like, you're invited to sleep with either of us. Just pick a bed. I was like, that's gross. She falls too easily back into that
I
threesome.
know. It's so weird because she was so guarded for so long. And then she's just like, psh, and the floodgates open. Like, protect your heart a little bit. Like she just, that was weird to me.
Yeah.
I guess she really, truly, it was such a burden on her that she was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to live my life like this.
Yeah. But she needs to protect herself.
She didn't. And this is what happened.
Wes and Jesse reminisce about the night before. I'm going to go, hey, yeah, remember when Kyle and Carl almost killed each other last night?
Yeah. What happened last night?
They said they had a good time hanging out with Sierra. It was like old times without tension. And they talk about Jesse asking Wes's permission to hook up with Sierra. And Jesse
Right.
apologizes for that. And then right after he says that, West is like, I wonder how Amanda's doing.
Yeah. And then Jesse says to West, imagine being a snake. Wouldn't that be weird? Because West was watching snake videos. I'm like,
Mhm.
the editors like Googling any clip where anyone said the word snake to see what might come up.
So Amanda goes and tells Lindsay that Kyle apologized this morning for going out.
Yeah.
Mia expresses concern that Amanda has to go home with Kyle. And she says, again, if he speaks to her like that in front of us, imagine how he speaks to her at home. And she says, Sierra says, it makes me not want to be Kyle's friend. You can act like that and go out with us and party. You should be in a timeout. And then no one says that to him. They just kind of let him do whatever he wants.
Because he's the life of the party and he's the leader, right? He acts like the leader. He wants to be the leader. Go cut back to Giggly Squad. Like everyone shut up. People
Like
are,
he thinks it's his show, right?
he definitely does. And I think he's a producer in the city.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Sure he is. So Jesse asks Wes what he thinks about Amanda and Kyle taking a separation. And Wes says, Kyle's too dramatic and he's not going to let it happen. I think space would be fantastic for both of them. Wes doesn't even seem like too interested in this conversation. He's like, whatever. Like, do you think it's like, it's already a done deal because they are separated? Like, he's like, I'm not going to invest in this fake conversation when they haven't been living together all summer and they all know it.
Maybe I just wrote down, why can't West speak? Why can't he just speak a full sentence without any filler words and just articulate his thoughts? It drives me crazy. Say a full sentence.
Okay, so the next morning, Sierra leads the pack and talks about making this après ski dream party, last party of the summer. I mean, it looked fantastic. All the decorations and everything from the backyard really looked great.
Yeah, it always does, especially a Sierra party,
Yeah. So Sabrina makes a dramatic entrance.
In all black and a choker in the summer in the Hamptons.
What is with the choker?
Denise, I can't do those two.
No. KJ says he's anxious about the summer coming to an end because he bonded with these guys and he's worried that it's not going to last through the off season. And, might not.
Yeah. Okay, Jay, you just wait.
Yeah. Mia says she looks at the cast as family now. Lindsay is in the bedroom with Jesse and Wes eating.
Shitster. She's such a shitster.
She's like, let's drive this home, right? So, West, how do you feel when Sierra said at the table that you are the person she loves the most in the house? And Jesse's like, that was pretty offensive for all of us. Like, West comes first. I love him the most. West doesn't even say anything. What does he say? I wasn't expecting it.
I think he's like, "Oh, shit." I think he's like, "Oh, shit." Like, yeah, I wanna be friends with her again, but I don't like,
I'm not trying to.
I hurt her once. Well, guess what? You're gonna hurt her worse this time, but I think he's freaking out and he doesn't know how to speak a full sentence to be like, "Listen, like, I just
Yeah.
want us to be friends."
Well, he says in the confessional that, yeah, the friendship feels good, but it's hard because he wants to be more than friends. Like, he just wants to hook up with her and her not be attached to him.
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen.
And then Lindsay goes, you have a way about you, West. You're hard to hate.
You're hard to hate.
So she's clocking it.
Mhm.
So then we see some people arrive to the party. I think these are cast members from the city that come.
Oh, wait. I did write this down. They put on a subtitle of West saying, "All right, I'm turning the shower on." Now, maybe it was that he was doing that and he was telling production, like, "It's gonna get noisy in here because 'cause I'm turning the shower on," but again,
The shower.
shower.
Yeah. And they're definitely going to do all the drugs before the party and during the party. So they're getting ready in their costumes. Wes looks gross. Like, put a shirt on. Like, his body is not good.
I mean, good for him for not caring but still, I would rather see him with a shirt on.
Yeah, please.
He's not the butler at the Rhode
You know
Island
he's not. He thinks he is.
Newport mansion.
So West and Dara are talking, and she is like, "So, like, what's up with Sierra? Would love to see you back together." And he just has this look on his face like, huh? What?
I think, yeah, he's like, "Shit. Like, this can't be a storyline. Let me get to the producers."
Yeah, let's back this up. Stop asking me. Fellow cast members, stop asking me if I'm going to pursue her.
Right.
Ask Sierra, have you talked to Wes about just being friends and acting accordingly like you did with me?
Or is that just for me?
Right. And he says, I can see where it's confusing when he's flirting with her. And she said, we've not had that conversation because she likes being flirty with him. And she said she's seeing a change in him. No,
I
there's no
know.
change.
What?
There is no change. And so this is Jesse kind of trying to warn her again. Like,
Yeah,
no, like, don't. I think he's like, great, there's no tension anymore, but he sees the potential of her getting hurt again.
for sure.
Yeah. So next week, the real season finale.
Finally. I know, I laughed. I almost texted you when they said on the season finale. I was like, there it is.
Third time's a charm, right? So we see Carl and Lindsay have a serious talk about their relationship.
Which I think helps a lot based on what Lindsay has said on the interview
Yeah.
circuit.
And then Sierra and West make out.
Ugh, Denise.
That was so hard to watch. I was like, no, girl, don't do it.
Ugh, brutal.
Terrible. Amanda and Kyle talk. They're both crying, and says something needs to change. So, okay, were they living in separate locations this summer, or were they not?
I don't know.
And clearly, after this, they truly are.
I feel like early on when this news first broke, Kyle said there will be more information about the timeline. Like back then he hinted that maybe they were in fact separated, but somebody called him out online for posting all the pictures about the episode, and tagging everyone in the cast. And he didn't block West and he tagged West in the picture. And he was like, it's not that deep. Kyle's a businessman.
At the end of the day, he's just trying to
Just
make money.
like Lindsay. Like they're trying to get their money. I mean, I guess it might create more interest if he blocks West and all that, but no, he's like, yeah, no, it's not that deep.
So you had said something, I think, before we started recording, like, why wouldn't Amanda's dad make her sign a prenup? Her dad must have been just like through this whole thing. Like, I can't imagine watching your daughter make the biggest mistake of her life. And then for
For
10,
years.
yeah.
Be treated like that for years and then end up at the end of it being the villain anyway.
I mean, ugh, what her mom must think.
I don't know. I'm so conflicted. Like, do I want to root for her? Like, she was in this horrible marriage. She stayed. She was manipulated. But what she did was really shitty.
This is what Kyle said At some point in the episode, Kyle was wasted and talking to himself in the closet. And he's like,
Yes.
he hates me. She despises me. But something like, I don't think she's going to leave me because she doesn't know how to do it.
She can't do it on her own. Yes.
She needs someone to like show her step by step by step. This is what you need to do next and next and next. And I was like, that's a good call because that's her personality. He's not wrong.
And she thinks West is gonna do that. There's no fucking way West Wilson is stepping up to do any of that for Amanda Batula.
And any of the girls that were going to help her aren't now.
Right.
They're going to be like, good luck navigating this. Maybe her best friend that's coming on the city will help her. I don't know. Is that her best friend coming on the city? Maybe not.
Yes. I don't know, but then they tease something. Kyle was inappropriate with her. I don't know if that's real or not, if it's just drama for in the city, but I'm like, they're re-editing everything, like we said, to figure out the West.
You would think her dad would be like, step one on how to get rid of Kyle. Here's the roadmap. I don't know. I'm kind of exhausted and I do want to watch the reunion, but I'm like, I just don't want in the city to be all of this.
It's annoying. And the fans are done. We're exhausted. Bravo.
New storyline, please. Just want to see the two of them move on.
On a lighter note, did you see the Las Culturistas Awards
No.
nominees came out with Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers? Like, they have like such silly, silly categories, but one of them is like the biggest vibe or the best vibe. And they have all these quirky things. And the last one is Mia Calabrese on Summer House. And I was like, yes, Mia is a vibe.
I
She
love
is
her.
such a total vibe.
So she's on Summer House, not the city.
I assume. It seems like she's like older. But Sierra, she's going to do, there's gossip we didn't cover. She's going to do After Sun on Love Island in Fiji. She's going to co-host that.
Ooh.
She's going to do Dancing with the Stars, as we already talked about. And they said for sure she's confirmed on Summer House.
Okay. Cannot wait for Love Island to come out.
Kind of psyched.
So much content. It's like June 3rd, right? Or something. It's right
Yes.
around the corner.
Yeah.
So she'll have sort of a Ariana role. Is Ariana hosting it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she was on with Carl on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, how was that?
It was pretty good. I feel like it wasn't as good as some of the other ones, like when Kristen Cavallari was on with Jesse.
Okay, yeah.
That was good. It was good, but not as good as that one.
Well, I'm so glad we have so much TV out there.
Oh,
We were in a
dude.
drought for a while, like back in the fall, we were like, shit, nothing's on. Now we're like, everything's on. Yay.
It's going to be a long summer.
What was the thing that you sent me about the new show with
Amazon Prime?
Yeah. Who's on that? Kenya Moore?
Yes. Oh my God.
I was like, this sounds like a train wreck of a cast.
Yes. Oh, and the ex-husbands, Kim Zolciak, Tamar Braxton, Kenya Moore, people from Vanderpump Rules, Margaret Joseph, Brittany Cartwright, Caitlin Bristow, The Bachelorette, Jen Tran from The Bachelorette, Julie and Savannah Chrisley, and Hilaria Baldwin.
Is this something about like them trying to improve themselves or
Reality Retreat, a series from the Jersey Shore creator, whoever, which features alums from shows like Housewives, Selling Sunset, The Chrisleys, Vanderpump Rules. The women will head to a wellness retreat designed to challenge their identities, relationships, and personal growth. It feels like a Flavor of Love charm school, but maybe better.
a lot of personality disorders on this, so it's going to be great.
Yeah,
great.
that is like fodder for you. You're going to love every single second of it.
It's kind of like Celebrity Rehab. I used to love that show. Yes. And then the other show you mentioned was with the Real Housewives of Atlanta's ex-husbands.
Yeah.
That's weird. Who's going to be on like Apollo and like
Candies? I think
Todd.
Todd's creating it.
Oh, of course he is. Ugh. What's the other husband? Peter? I can't stand any of those guys. Is that going to be on Bravo?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next week.
So much.
We'll be back recording on Thursday next week so we can cover the Valley.
Yes.
All right. See you then.
Cheers.
Cheers. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Charmingly Toxic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow reality TV junkies. You can connect with me on Instagram at Charmingly Toxic and join the conversation in the Charmingly Toxic Facebook group. This podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. While I am a licensed therapist, I'm not diagnosing anyone here. Expect real talk, sarcasm, and a few clinical insights woven in along the way. If you're seeking support for a toxic relationship, please reach out to a licensed therapist or visit my website, dccounseling.org.